the 12 houses and see who's willing to fight for Taurus love. Okay? Who's going to be fighting? Who's loving you? Sit around with my head hanging down. This is for entertainment. This is for fun, guys. So if it doesn't resonate, please don't force it. I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. Let's see who's willing to fight for Taurus. So we're going to start with Taurus and Aries connection. Okay. Taurus and Aries. Let's see what's going on. Taurus and Aries. Taurus and Aries. Taurus and Aries. Yes. I got a yes for that one. Yes, Taurus and Aries, fight for your love. Okay, now, what about Taurus and Tauruses? You want to fight for your love? Taurus with Tauruses? Taurus with Tauruses. Here we go. Ooh. Taurus with Tauruses. Initially, it looks like they could take it or leave it. 50-50. It depends. Let's see what's going on. Taurus with Tauruses. Woo! Wow. Well, this says yes. They will fight for your love. Taurus with Tauruses, they're going to fight for your love. Literally. Especially if you're married. especially if you're married, though. They're going to fight for your love. Because that's the marriage card. Even if you're not married on paper, if they feel like you're married, that you're their person and all like that, they're gonna fight for your love. That's what that says. And they're determined to win too. They'll be bashing somebody's head, and it's what it says, literally. And they're not gonna even feel regret about it at all. So there goes a hard yes. But that's once you're their person, because at first it's like they could take it or leave it. But once you're locked in, yes, they will fight for your love. They're not even going to think twice about that. Okay, what's going on here? How's about Tauruses with Gemini? Hey, thanks for stopping by and saying hello. He said, can you ask a question? What's your sign? What's your sign? Do you have a question with somebody? What are your two signs? Your sign and your person of interest sign. Let's take a look at Tauruses with Gemini. Taurus with Geminis. Taurus with Gemini. Are they going to fight for your love? Are they going to fight for your love? Taurus and Gemini. Yeah, they're going to fight for your love. They're definitely going to fight for your love. And they're going to kick some butt too. Dun, 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 dun. Don't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. All right. They're gonna fight for your love. How's about Taurus with Cancers? Are they gonna fight for your love, Taurus? Not in the beginning. They could take it or leaving. They could take it or leave it. They don't want to work too hard. They don't want to put in too much work in the beginning. Let's see what happens next. No, they said they're too pretty to fight. Hold on, let me see what happens next. But, yeah, they will verbally fight, but they're too pretty to be getting in too much of a fight. They'll do some verbal and mental fighting, but not too much. And that's only once you're locked in. That's what they say. Initially, they're not trying to do too much. They don't want to work too hard or do anything. And then even, you know, once you start talking, initially they're too pretty to fight, is what it says. But, you know, after you've progressed and you're, you know, got some history under your belt, they'll be doing some manipulative type fighting, some verbal fighting. That's what that says. But they're too pretty to fight. Okay, Aries. This is the Emperor. Okay, let's take a look. How's about Tauruses with it says if you're dealing with the Aries third party situation, they're gonna fight. They come back in to say yes, they will fight. Okay. So some Cancer third party situation with Taurus, Aries will fight. And let's see, Leo with Tauruses, Aries, if you're dealing with the Aries in the third party, Aries will fight. Okay. This is entertainment, guys. If it doesn't resonate, don't force it to fit. This is just for fun. Let's see Taurus with Leos. Is Leo gonna fight for Taurus? Will Taurus fight for their Leos? Let's see what's going on. They're gonna fight for your love. This is a yes. But yeah, they're going to fight. They're going to really cause some earth shattering. They're going to do some damage to fight for their love for sure. But that again is once you guys are locked in. But initially it says that, you know, if you guys just met, for those couples that just met initially, one of the options, you know, kind of just flirting and seeing where things go. Then you go on a date and the date goes well and you start having feelings for one another. They're going to rock somebody's whole entire universe. They will definitely be fighting for your love. That's what that says. How about Taurus and Virgo? Taurus and Virgo. Taurus and Virgo. Well, it says, you know, some of them will, some of them won't. But this particular connection talks about where you tried it in the past and it didn't really work out in the past. And so it looks like some of them will, some of them won't, but they are in their head about it, you know, miserable. If they have to fight for your love, they're feeling really miserable about it. So again, it looks like they would do a mental fight, argumentative fight, but some of them will, some of them won't. And it's specifically talking about you guys that have history and the chapter closed out in the past, and they don't really know if there's feelings or emotionals in there yet, but they're in their head about it. They're definitely not feeling good about that if they have to fight for your love. Now we're going to move to look at Taurus with Libras. Taurus with Libras. Let's see, Taurus, are they going to fight for your love? Libra and Taurus connections. Libra and Taurus connections. Taurus and Libra connections. So it says, yes, they will fight for your love, but it's going to be strategic. You know, they're going to do their research, and it's going to be strategically. They will fight for your love. All right, let's look at Taurus with Scorpios. Taurus and Scorpios, will they fight for your love? Taurus and Scorpio. No, they're going to find another lover. They're going to find another lover. They'll be emotionally detaching and finding another love. How's about Taurus and Sagittarius? Taurus and Sagittarius. So this is a general reading, not intended to resonate with everybody. Entertainment here. Just having some fun. So if it don't resonate, don't force it. We'll be back to do another as soon as possible. Looking at Taurus and Sagittarius. They fight for your love. Okay. It looks like they'll be walking away and finding another lover too. They're not going to fight for the love, at least in the beginning. Nope, it still says that they're not going to fight for the love. No, they just want it to be or not to be. All right, let's see what's going on with Taurus and Capricorns. Taurus and Capricorns. Taurus and Capricorn. Taurus and Capricorn. Taurus and Capricorn. Taurus and Capricorn. So it looks like no, not in the beginning. You got to be locked in. If you're locked in and you're their person, they're going to fight. And they're going to move heaven and earth. So yes, they will fight. But that's when you're locked in, of course. Huh. Taurus and Aquarius. Taurus and Aquarius. Taurus and Aquarius. Taurus and Aquarius. Are they gonna fight for your love? Taurus and Aquarius. Taurus and Aquarius. So far it's looking like half of them will, half of them won't. Yeah, half of them will, half of them won't. But they're most likely to just block at the first sign of dissonance. They'll block it out. So it looks like there's not even going to be a chance to get to the point of fighting. They're just going to block. How's about Taurus and Pisces? Taurus and Pisces. Taurus and Pisces. Taurus and Pisces. Okay, so this is not going to resonate with everyone because this particular storyline is for those who have had an on and off again relationship. On and off again relationship. This is talking about, so no, they're sneaky link type energy. They're just going to go coy. They're not going to fight for it. They're sneaky link. On and off again, sneaky link. They like, yeah, they're not gonna fight. They're gonna go coy. They're gonna go undercover. They're gonna act like nothing's going on. They just want the physical. They just want to be the sneaky link. They're not gonna fight for it. That's what I have. They said like they don't have to fight for it. They don't have to fight for it. That's how that feels like. They're the sneaky link. They stay in their lane. They play their role. That, like I said, this is just a general reading that's not intended to resonate with everyone, and it's entertainment. That's what I got for Taurus. I'll be back to do another as soon as possible. Hey, all right. It's like, can you ask a question? So I'm gonna come back to do another reading on another video, and I said, what is your sign? Like, or do you have a question about a relationship? What is the sign between the two of you? I said before I got online, I said to myself, if somebody comes in and they have a personal request, I'll probably go ahead and work on it. But what is your sign? What is the question? I'll be right back. Signing off for now. Until next time. Peace.